Hey, my lovely Willow Vibes Tribe members. I am Jessica from Willow Vines Intuitive Vibes. I just got coffee on my paper or something. Whatever's on the bottom of my cup, whatever. So there's a giant circle stain now. Circles are a problem. But anyways, oh my goodness. I cough right off the bat. Wonderful. So, anyways, I am Jessica from Willow Vines Intuitive Vibes, and I'm here to do a collective message. Today is Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023. If you care to know the date, I feel like we're preparing for something. We're getting ready, because, like when you're stretching and preparing for a workout, or it's like, yep, we're going to do this. Like, that's what it feels like. So, yep, we're preparing. Someone's preparing for something, or multiple people could be. A camp is significant. I'm getting nervous again for some reason. Just talking about that, but a camp is significant, and that is not what I have written down or anything. That's just coming out. So whatever that means to you, I mean, spring is in the air, still a little chilly where I am, at least, and we're probably getting more snow and all that crap, but we're moving into warmer months, when people do go up to camp or whatever, over the summer months. So something significant could happen over the summer, because this feels upcoming, but it also feels kind of tied to the past. So some of you might summer in different places, like, oh, we always go to this location. We have a camp in Maine, or, you know what I mean, wherever it is. It's just an example, because a lot of people who lived in Maine once upon a time, they move south because it's warmer, and then they come up in the warmer months, when winter's over. Because the snow is BS sometimes, just saying. So there could be someone in that energy who does that. Fires are significant as well. This feels like an outdoor fire, like either a campfire at camp, or a bonfire, burning brush, stuff like that. But that's what that feels. I don't know, I see something like that. Fire, significant, camp. But anyways, before I really dive in more than I already have, calls as well, phone calls, and messages and DMs. Routines, calls, and DMs is what I wrote down. And so you could have literally spoken to whoever this is on the phone and in private messenger, like on Facebook or any of the social media messenger apps, or an app or something like that. Somebody could have used an app to talk to you, but this feels like online communication and phone calls, or calling people through the internet. Like, you're not using your phone's data or your phone number, you're using an app to speak to people, or that's what they were doing, or someone in the situation. That's just what someone does. That's how they reach out to someone. It could be both. But anyways, it's time to heal something, just saying. So I don't want to put this down yet, because it'll get cold and yucky if I do. But anyways, I have a couple little shares, and I share this stuff, for your benefit, so that you guys can put the pieces together in your own situations, like how I do it, if it helps you. And it's also just so that I can share, because I don't talk to anyone except for you guys. This is my sacred space. And I'm sharing with you guys. I know it's public, but I don't know. I just feel the urge. So a lot of the times, and anyways, why am I getting all I want to say this, but I don't? So there could be someone in this situation who has a lot to say, or they want to own up to something, or just tell someone something, and they don't know the right words. They don't know how to say whatever they want to say, or whatever they need to say. Like, I feel like someone's in the know about something, some situation, no matter how big or small it is, and they don't know how to tell you, but they want to, because there's a level of sacrifice here. Like, they might have to sacrifice themselves. You might get mad at them. There's a fear here, or someone's worried about your reaction or the repercussions of their own actions and involvement in a situation, depending on how severe this is. Because for some of you, it could be as simple as a child not wanting to tell their parents something because they don't want to get grounded. But it could also be a friend or even a child, someone where, the law could get involved and they're worried about that. I don't know. I feel like I dug myself a hole I can't get out of. And that's not me, Jessica. That's somebody else. So, anyway, someone is in the hole hoping for a ladder or a rope or something to get their asses out of it because they don't know what to do now. They could have been playing whatever this is off as a joke. Like, I'm just kidding, just joking. And you're like, oh, good. Okay, I'm glad that's a joke. But I feel like whatever it is not a joke. It was not a joke. I'm just kidding. Good. Feathers are significant. There's a sign in there somewhere. Here's your sign. Trust yourself. So if you backed off from someone because they were just quote unquote joking around, they weren't joking around. You trusted yourself for a reason. Because we get these, okay, this is what I'm leading into. We get these feelings for a reason, and it's for our protection and the protection of those around us, those we love and care about, and sometimes even people we don't know. It's just, so we're just not part of it, or they're not part of a situation, depending on how you share your feelings. You know what I mean? Your intuitive feelings. Well, someone needs to call someone on social media, or they're thinking about it. They're going to. That's already happened. Someone has already called someone through an app, but I feel like I need to make this call again. So someone's going to speak to someone. They want to speak to someone. They're just trying to think of what to say. So, like I said, with the feelings and stuff, like I just have an off feeling. Something feels wrong. This feels off. Whatever it is. Really listen to yourself. And, this is another example as to why. So, I'll start off with yesterday. I was in a funk all day. I mean, I was fine when I was driving around, but I felt very blank. Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't even know what I feel right now. I don't know if I'm happy, sad, mad, whatever. Like, I was just kind of numb. I wasn't really talking, kept my mouth shut. I'm just like, literally, I felt expressionless, which is kind of a scary place to be in because it's nothingness. It's like nothing. That's how I was feeling. And I know that isn't me because I feel a bunch of stuff all the time. And I wrote that down. Where the hell was it? I got more to say with that, but no, that ain't it. Where the hell is it? Oh, right there. Oh my god, it was just, this is my most recent one. Blank. Awesome. Bye. Oh, I just looked at that. Where was it? I don't know. I saw it somewhere. Oh, right on my cup. Blank. Bye. One, two. Ouch. Fight. Something to do with an argument or a fight. Someone's either worried about a fight or they just don't care and they want to get into a fight. They're going to get into a fight and they don't care. Because what I was feeling was nothing for a little while. And I was like, okay, well, this is weird. And then when I got back to the house, I started feeling just in a funk, like almost in a depressed state. So the blankness wore off and it was more, then it turned into, because I'm like, who the hell am I feeling, And it turned into a level of sadness, and I wanted to cry, but I didn't, but I felt the urge to, so I felt like, well, maybe someone's really sad, you know what I mean? And I couldn't shake the feeling no matter what I did. I'm like, what the hell? Who is this? And then later on that evening, around supper time, my son came into my room, and because he comes in periodically and is like, oh, I just want to hug you, Mom, and he gives me hugs like crazy. And I did say there was a significance with hugs and stuff a while ago, like, hey, buddy, give me a hug or something. Well, I say, hey, buddy, hey, bud, hey, buddy, and then he'll be like, can I give you a hug? And he'll hug me. And he's done that forever. Like, I don't know, I'm a huggy person anyways, and I'm like one of the only people that he really hugs besides, grandparents and stuff like that, but they're not around on the regular. And there's a lonely feeling there, and I know that with him. And we talk about, his personal stuff, but I'm not saying that on here. But anyways, he come in normal, give me a hug. So sometimes I'll just stay seated, and he'll just reach over, give me a quick hug, and leave. Well, for some reason I stood up. I was like, I'll give you a real hug, you know? And I hugged him and he wouldn't let me go. And I'm like, something's wrong. So I'm like rubbing his back and I could feel him getting a little emotional, and we'll just leave it at that. But he hugged me for like what seemed like forever. And I was like, maybe I was picking up on him. And then he started talking about, stuff that he was thinking about, what was on his mind, whatever. And I was like, yeah, well, that makes sense for some of the feelings I was feeling. And then no sooner did we stop talking after the hug, my daughter comes in the room bawling her eyes out. And then she's reaching for a hug too. And I was like, what the hell's going on today? So I give her a hug and I'm trying to, console her, but her boyfriend and my son were in the room, so we didn't get a private conversation at that time, but I am going to talk to her privately, just because, it's easier to talk when it's just one-on-one, you know what I mean? But they were both wicked sad and having a really bad day, and I had a bad day because I was feeling them, because no sooner did they leave my room after we hugged it out and they cried, I felt better. It's like I came back to myself. I was like, I feel better now that they cried. And it's not because I wanted them to cry, it's just literally the energy lifted. And I'm like, it was them. So I do pick up on my kids a lot. I pick up on a lot of different people, which leads me to this. So, oh, is somebody gonna wake up, or are they just waking up? That could be my son because he was sleeping when I started this. But anyways, it's time to wake up is what I want to say with that. It's time to wake up. Some of my son's friends especially need to wake up, just saying. Well, okay. So on St. Patty's Day, I had done elements, the element sign, so like earth, air, fire, water. Well, in the earth sign reading, I was very adamant on being careful, staying at home if you're going to be drinking. Don't drink and drive. I saw an accident and I said it could end very poorly. I didn't know if someone was going to get hurt, injured, or if they were going to end up arrested or something, involvement with the law. And I said it was a minor. It was like someone who's underage and they can drive. And I don't know, I kept saying it in that reading. Well, I found out yesterday that it's my son's friend, the same one that that basically caused problems the night of my daughter's dance when he showed up here intoxicated. But anyways, yeah, that happened to him. Actually, I don't know if it was St. Patty's Day, but it was over the weekend because it was just recent. It was after I did the reading that it happened. And so I have it dated and all that crap to prove that I said it before it even happened. But I'm not proving anything, which I kind of feel like if I'm quote unquote proving anything, it's just to show my children and the people around me that the things I say do happen. So if I give you a warning message, just kind of note it and pay attention, basically. Because there's something to do with someone getting hit in the face. I don't know, because I know that same, I'll get into it, what I was going to say, but I know that same friend that I'm talking about, when last time, or one of the times he got involved with the law, he got his chin scuffed up and stuff because the cop pinned him to the ground because he was being extremely mouthy. Like, that's an understatement, basically. So he was being threatening and whatever. And he got his face put to the pavement, ultimately, hit in the face in a cut. And he did have a cut. Well, it was more like a scrape on his face. But there's another kid tied to him, and I'm not naming names. Oh, the DMs and stuff. Messages, hidden messages. Because the other kid I'm thinking of actually busted his lip open. I can't remember if it was I think it was his bottom lip. I think he actually needed stitches, and it was from a similar thing. Being mouthy and rowdy with an officer, and poop, you got your face in the ground. Well, it split his lip. Not the one that I'm talking about, but someone tied to him. Well, that one that's tied to him, his name begins with M, was talking to my daughter for a long time, and I just was like, no, don't talk to my daughter because this is bad news. I'm like, no, you're older and you're in a bad crowd. I don't want her around that person. So I might need to double check on that. Make sure they're not talking anymore. So, anyways, because that just reminded me of that cut, hit in the face. Because this doesn't feel like getting punched in the face. It could be, but that has already happened to those two. Boo boo under eye. Well, that happened to my daughter's boyfriend. The dog scratched him under the eye, but that also happened to her friend, too. Because they get rowdy and he jumps up and a nail caught him. No, that didn't happen to her boyfriend. That happened to her friend. But anyway, what the hell am I going off on that? I don't remember which eye that was. Well, hopefully no one gets into a physical altercation, especially with that girlfriend that I'm talking about, my daughter's friend. But anyways, back to what I was originally saying. This is how I communicate. I go all over the place. Like I start talking, then something pops up, talk about something else, and then we go back. So it is what it is. And it's not ADD, it's just I don't want to forget what pops up, because if it pops up, it's important. So with the earth sign reading, I was driving home about the car accident and not drinking and driving. Well, guess what? That friend, the same one I was talking about that was over the house that showed up intoxicated, he, after that reading, he had been drinking, and he's not 21, and he was driving, and he crashed into a ditch or something. I don't know the details, but he crashed a vehicle and got a DUI. So he might be facing jail time now. I sent out the warnings and people don't listen. And I know that that kid watches my readings sometimes, because his energies wouldn't be popping up if he wasn't watching them, or if someone tied to him wasn't watching them, because I don't talk to this kid anymore. I mean, if he shows up at the house and he's coherent, I'll talk to him, but there's a problem there. There's a big problem there. And if there's an adult or someone who really cares about him paying attention, because you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. The letter R, just saying. If you care, that kid needs help. I know he's legally an adult, but adults need help too. And I'm sorry, just because you're 18 doesn't mean that you're a full-on fledged adult. You know what I mean? You're still a child in my eyes, and you got a lot of growing up and learning to do, no matter, what your path is, because you're young at that age. You think you know everything, but you don't. And you'll realize that like 10, 15 years down the line, you'll go, man, I was an idiot. Because it happens, there are things I've done in my past that I'm not happy about. Like, I shouldn't have done that, but, it is what it is. So anyways, pay attention to stuff like that, because I said it and it happened. And I'm like, I don't know. And I was thinking of him, actually, in that reading. I'm like, I wonder if it is. Well, I got the news yesterday, but it's just, it blows my mind. I mean, the messages and the confirmation doesn't blow my mind. Just the stupidity of some people, and the fact that they're not only risking their own lives, they're risking the lives of others when they do stuff like that. That's what blows my mind. Like, why? It could have been a hell of a lot worse. He could have been severely injured or dead, a friend of his, or an innocent bystander. You know what I mean? Like, those types of risks are dumb, and they should not be taken. But a lot of people take those risks, and they end poorly. You know what I mean? So that happened. I have a few other things to discuss, but we're going to do it at a later date, because I have more quote-unquote confirmation, I guess you could say, or more messages, whichever way you want to look at it. But it's not going to be in this reading. So that's what I wanted to share. Anything else on this page? Something to do with the wall is very significant. It could be punching the wall, but yeah, because there's like a masculine energy in the wall, which, like, getting angry and punching the wall. Excuse me. Wall to wall? Wall to wall? Talking through the wall? Listening through the wall? Someone could be doing that, or they did. A picture is upsetting someone. What is that? A picture. It's not over. Someone's just being quiet. A picture's upsetting someone, whatever that is. But I just keep wanting to say warning, warning, warning. Don't forget the warnings. And I've said this before. You've gone and done it now. My bad. Problems coming. Table. Which could be any friggin' table, you know what I mean? It doesn't just have to be my table. Because when I like point to the table, yeah, the truth comes out on my table because I'm a tarot reader, psychic medium. But everyone has a fucking table, you know what I mean? It could be a significance with a table. Maybe you sat at a table with somebody. Be careful where you shine your light. So it's like, be careful what information comes out. But if anyone's saying that to me, I say whatever pops in my head, like whatever spirit tells me to say, basically, whether I understand it or not. So whether it's for me or not. So if anyone gets butthurt about that, turn the other way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's what I want to say, especially with social media. If there's something that you don't like the posts that someone's posting, their memes, their updates, whatever, like if someone's annoying you or this is stupid or it's pissing you off, unfriend that person, remove them from your feed if you don't want to unfriend them, block them, do whatever you need to do, but ignore it. Who cares? Like, why is social media such a problem? It's like, if someone wants to be a keyboard warrior, let them just be like, whatever, because if you don't feed into it, guess what? It goes away. It really does. Because that's happened to me before. Like, literally, I was being harassed online and it was eating me up, and then finally I'm just like, nope. And the second I stopped interacting, acknowledging the problem, it went away. It just disappeared because they weren't getting a rise out of me. They knew they couldn't get to me. So just remember that if anyone's being stupid online. That's what I want to say, because some of you could be dealing with online bullying, or someone you know is. Whether it's just stuff that you get annoyed with, you don't want to see it, you don't want to hear it, you don't want to whatever. It's like, then don't pay attention, because you're in control of what you watch, what you listen to, and what you see. Because you don't have to. Because look, there's nothing on the phone right now. It's my choice to open it up. It's my choice to go into that app. It's my choice to do whatever. So if I don't like what I'm hearing and seeing, I guess that's my fucking problem. You know what I mean? Hope that makes sense, especially for younger people, because maybe that's why I'm drilling it home, because the younger generations are their whole lives are online, so they can take things to heart a lot more than, you know, people who are older, who are newer to technology. Like, I mean, I would be the newer one because it basically came out to the public when I was a kid. And then, you know, my parents' age, they didn't grow up with it. They were adults by the time tech really started taking off, you know, into what we know what it is, into what it is today. Basically, I can't really say that, but wasn't coming out right. So the older generations basically don't care. It's like whatever's online, whatever. But the younger generation do. So if you have children, especially, and they're on the phone and they're on Facebook and Snap and all that crap, and there's a bunch of online drama, and you're just going, well, just ignore it. What the hell? You gotta look at it from their perspective, because that is their life. You know, a lot of children don't even hang out with their friends anymore, or they don't do it as frequently. It's, my whole life is right here. So if my whole life is being torn apart by some bitch online, it's gonna wreck my world. So you gotta look at it from that perspective. It's like the bully mentality at school, you know, going around taking kids' lunch money and calling someone a whore and this and that, and causing problems. That's in your physical environment. It's harder to handle, you know, the online issues, because yeah, you can block and delete and whatever, but then they can create a fake profile, or they can get all their friends to gang up on you, and it's relentless, because it doesn't just end at school. It's at home. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? My phone is everywhere I go, so the problem's everywhere I go. Do you know what I mean? That could be going on for some younger people, or just people in general, but it feels like younger age. So if you're having a hard time understanding the online bullying thing with your child or children or nieces and nephews and stuff, think of it from that perspective. That's what's going on with somebody. Follow your own good advice. Trust yourself. You know what is best for you. You already know what you need to do within this situation or whatever's going on for you. Um, I just heard ignore the hate, so that's very prominent here. I already spoke about friends, dealings with the law, answers received, because that I feel like that had to do with what I was talking about with my son's friend. But he has more than one friend that is dealing with the law, just saying. And not all of them have recently gotten in trouble. I'm telling you, the kids just go down bad paths. And I tried to help these little boogers, but, you can only help those who want to help themselves. And that's what I keep telling myself. But anyways, so if you're a parent and your child has gone down a bad path, they're doing things like what I mentioned, not just the bullying stuff, but, getting in trouble with the law or going against the grain in not a good way, just know that you're doing the best that you can, especially if you're there and you're providing a level of support. You're not just neglecting your child and being, leaving them to their own devices. If you're not there, if you're not present, that's a bit of a problem. And yeah, you can blame yourself for some of the crap when it comes to that. But if you're trying and you make yourself known, you want to talk, you've tried to help them, whatever, and they're still going down a bad path, that's not your fault. That's their choice, that's their path, that's their life. And as sucky as it is, and this is coming from a parent, I have teenagers, but it doesn't matter if your children are adults or teenagers or little kids. Little kids you can kind of steer in a different direction depending, most of the time at least. But it's not your fault. That's what I want to say. It's not your fault. Whatever's going on with someone's child or children, especially if they chose the road of addiction, if they're getting in trouble with the law, if they did this, that, and the other, if they were involved in something shady, whether it's one time or multiple times, if you know that you were there and you were doing whatever you could to help them, it's not your fault. Just know that. Talking to angels is what's here. Talking to angels, because I feel like I might be talking to, or I don't know if there's someone who's gonna watch where they lost a child. I'm not sure if this is someone who lost a child due to like their bad choices or a choice. Shit. Somebody lost a child and a friend. But I feel like I'm talking to a parent or something like along those lines. Somebody lost a child because of their choices. This child's already passed away. And angels, they're among the angels. Angels are significant. So this child, I don't know, angels are like a symbol for this child. Like maybe you have an angel pendant, like a necklace, or you have little cherubs or angels around your house or around a grave. Something to do with angels and in a grave. So I don't know if there's, because that's a pretty common image, but I'm seeing it's like they're statues or something. I don't know. Maybe you have them in a garden and you're around your house, or there's a memorial place for this person, this child. And I'm saying child, but I don't know how old this child is. I don't know if they're young, because I'm feeling multiple energies here. There's a few people who have lost children, but there's one that's very significant, and angels are tied to that, the death of that person. Like they're around you, they're watching over you, but they know, they see you when you visit, whoever this child is, because they're not telling me who they are. Because I'm seeing it's like a few kids. There's a little kid, like a little child, 3-4 years old ish, around that, like little like that. And then There's someone who's probably teenage years. I don't know, 15 to 18, we'll say. And then there's someone else who is like a young adult. All these people have passed away because, not all because of their choices, but they're all children that have passed away. Boy, girl, boy. So the little one was a boy. The one that's a teenager, like preteen, teenage, was a girl. And then the young adult, who's like 19 and over, we'll say 18 and over, um, under the age of 25, was a male. One of them is an overdose. One of them was an overdose. I just heard accidental. One of them was an accidental overdose. Was that? Yeah, they didn't. That happens a lot, actually. I'm just saying, especially if someone goes into recovery and then they slip up and then they think they can do what they did prior and then it doesn't end well. Accidental. So if your child passed away from an overdose, I feel like it was accidental. I got a female popping in now who it was an accidental overdose as well. That she did, I don't know if she did like pills or dirt. We'll leave it at that. Down, a suppressant of some kind, because it's suppressing. That was an accident. Because I just heard, I loved life, I was full of life, but I hated life. So there was probably things going on with that person as to why they were doing that girl, the girl that just popped in. Like there was probably issues going on that either she couldn't deal with or just things weren't going right. But she didn't want to die. She was just in a dark place. And that was not a suicide, if anyone's wondering. The letter K is popping. Ow. The letter K is popping in my head for some reason. And the letter S as well. So it could be the beginning, the initials of someone. Oh, that hurt my head. Wow, I'm dizzy. Someone could have hit their head or when they fell. Or they were like effed up and they fell and hit their head. That could have been an aneurysm too. Because it just felt like something popped in my head. And then I got really like, whoa. I got really tired. That would happen with an aneurysm. It really would, no matter where it is in your head or whatever. Like, I don't know if it'd be a popping sensation because I've never had one, but I would assume so. And then you would, because you basically, it's a brain bleed where you'd get a headache and you'd probably be really tired and lethargic because your brain function's failing because there's, it's getting squished basically. I don't know how fast these things can happen. I think it depends on where it happens in your brain, but I don't know, that could have happened to somebody. I don't know if it was due to a substance or if it was just, they had an underlying health issue or something. Whatever that was, someone did pass away that way. It has something to do with the head and like the brain. The head and the brain. I just heard that's how I went into my peaceful good night. There's a blanket too. I don't know. I feel like I almost feel like this person was asleep or in bed when that happened. In a bed. That's not the girl, though. No. A song is very significant with that, too. Someone sings a song about this child, about this person that happened to, or to them. I don't know if you go to the gravesite and sing to them, or if you just sing in memory of this person. But somebody does. I hear you. What is it? Something about dancing in heaven? Uh, it's like, what's it like up there? Something like that. It's beautiful. I just heard it's beautiful, Mom. So yeah, somebody did lose a child. It's beautiful. Okay. Um, I just heard we'll talk later. Expect online updates. Friend in the background, unseen. So there's someone behind the scenes who is checking up on someone's social media. They're checking up on someone, or they're watching you online in some sort of way. This closet just got so freaking cold. Holy crap. Like, I feel like I'm standing outside all of a sudden, which Spirit will do that. They'll take the heat right out of a room. Maybe that's why my room's always so damn cold, just saying. But my hands are freezing. My hands are freezing. My hands are freezing, and now I'm praying. My hands are freezing, and I'm praying. Someone was praying. I'm praying for change, for something, for a different outcome. Man, this is getting deep because I just heard take me instead. So that's definitely something a parent would say or wish, like, just take me kind of thing. Take me instead. If you had to go through that, I'm really sorry because I feel like I'm going to cry all of a sudden. That's rough. I have an understanding, but I don't know how a parent would feel because I've never experienced that. But I can tell you that I don't think it would feel very good. Anyone who has lost a child, definitely, if you're pulling through and taking care of business, you know what I mean, doing what you need to do for you and your family still, you are one of the strongest people in the world. And I don't care what anyone says, that is the truth. Because that is very difficult. Very difficult. I just heard, what about my brother? What about my brother? Someone could be asking that question, like, do you have any information about my brother? So someone's brother could have passed away, because I do feel like that's someone who wants to know about someone on the other side. And there's two brothers that are coming to me. One of them is a child, like a young child, and one of them is, I don't know, I want to say young adult, a teenager, young adult, I don't know, they're young. That one, I feel like the young adult brother, whoever that is, something to do with school and overdosing. It was an accident. It was an accident. Like, he didn't mean to for that to happen. It's like you're having a good time, and then next thing you know, it's over. It's kind of what that feels like. Yeah, it's very painful. That person was dealing with a lot of pain, and I feel like the family tied to whoever that brother person is dealing with a lot of pain. Okay, I wasn't going to say this, but a freaking parakeet keeps popping in my head, like a bird. So someone had a bird, or there's a bird is significant with this specific person. And the color yellow, it keeps showing up, so I just want to keep saying it for some reason. I just heard you'll get through this. So there could be a situation going on for his family where you'll get through whatever this difficulty is. The younger energy, the other brother that's popping in here is sitting here quietly. I'm watching over you. So he's watching over his family, but he's watching over his brother, his big brother, and his big brothers. He's got two. His family. I just heard it's going to be okay. I just heard don't go back. Don't go back. So I don't know if he's saying to his brother, don't go back to, wherever this death occurred, because sometimes we revisit the death site and it can dredge up some emotions and stuff. Like if somebody gets into an accident on the side of the road, you might put a cross there and go visit there or whatever. Wherever this incident occurred, I don't know if he's saying don't go back there. This feels more like don't go backwards. Don't go back to doing bad things. Don't go back to anything unhealthy. Stay away from that. Keep going. Soldier forward. Keep going. Push through the pain, because this is temporary. So whoever's going through that, I'm going to cry. Whew. It's temporary. This pain is temporary. It doesn't feel like it's temporary. It feels like it's going on forever and ever, and I feel like I don't have anyone. Because whoever this little boy's talking to, his brother, this person doesn't really have a very good support team. But you're here for a reason, and you're here for a reason. Things will turn around. Just stay on the straight and narrow, basically, for that person. All right. Is there anything else we need to know? Because I've been on here for 41 minutes. I swear, whatever spirit comes through, I lose track of time, like big time. A younger energy or a message of good news. And this is under campfire, so I kind of feel like it could be friends communicating, like this person needs a friend, or you might need a friend, you need someone to talk to. But this is a beautiful message. This is friendly communication. It's good. Whatever it is, it's good. Chilling with friends. So spend time with the right friends, no matter how old you are. If you have people who are unhealthy, they cause problems, nothing but pain and heartbreak, not them. Find the people who are supportive, those that you can talk to, be real with, and who understand or could understand what you're going through, if you're going through anything. Because I feel like a friendship could ignite here because there's a mutual understanding over something. It's like almost like realizing who your true friends are. Like, I thought you were my buddy, but you don't give a crap about me. You were using me, or you were just like filling up time, or shit like that. And then it's like, and I wasn't making time for you, but you're a real friend. Like, you actually care. So there's some realizations going on here, and it might be coming out of nowhere. There's the realization, boom. I'm just saying. Giving without expectation. And that's kind of what I was talking about. There's someone who was giving to their friend, or to someone they consider a friend, someone they care about. And they didn't expect anything in return. It's like the only thing that you ever really expect in return is that someone's going to be there, be supportive. It doesn't mean they're giving you anything. And I feel like whoever this person is who's upset is realizing, like, I didn't give shit. I wasn't even supportive. It's like I have nothing to give, but you can give time. You can take the time to call someone, to listen to whatever they're going through, because that could be the difference between life and death sometimes for certain people, depending on what they're going through. You know what I mean? Because you never know. You don't want to be like, I should have answered that call. I should have spoke to so-and-so. I wish I would have done this, that, and the other, because now they're not here and I can't. Whether they walked out of your life for good or they're gone. You know what I mean? They're on the other side gone. Because you never know. You truly never know. And if you care about someone, reach out. Be the bigger person. And be there for that person or those people. And if people aren't there for you in return, then they're not your friends. They're just people you know. You know what I mean? They're just acquaintances. It doesn't mean you can't talk to them. Doesn't mean that you can't just kill time with them too. But as long as you know the difference. Because those are the types of people, the flaky ones, that you don't confide in. You don't tell them your secrets. You don't tell them your problems. You don't do any of that stuff with them. They're just, it's like, oh, yeah, we'll have a couple beers with you. We'll kill some time because I'm bored. That's those people. Those are acquaintances. A true friend is going to be there when the shit hits the fan and you need someone, you know? Yeah, the friendship. My hair is everywhere. What the shit? Reconciliation coming together. Signs from the universe. Someone is receiving spiritual signs, but I don't feel like they're fully understanding them. There's also someone here who is a guiding light for a friend or multiple friends. Like, you might not have liked what I had to say, but I did it for your highest good. I did it for your best interest. I had no ulterior motive. So that someone could have looked at you as though you had an ulterior motive, especially if you were talking to them about a touchy subject matter. I mean, what it's making me think of is back when, someone was very defensive because of something that was said. And I feel like you were just giving someone a heads up, whether it was through spiritual messages or you literally knew something, like someone told you, you saw it, whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's making me think of when I had told a friend of mine that her husband was cheating. This was years ago. Because I heard it from the horse's mouth, basically, because I was talking to the mistress, and that's how I found out. And I made her call her, because I was like, you need to make this right. This is wrong. And because she thought that he was going to leave his wife for her, and I'm like, honey, he's not. He's playing you. He's not going to leave her. She ended up leaving him later on, but they didn't believe me, and the friendship just went kapooey because I told her something that basically cracked this beautiful foundation that she thought she had. You know, it's like this picture, this beautiful picture, this life, this picturesque happy life. You know, we got the best family, we got money, we got this, whatever. That just went the second I said that. So it crumbled. Some hopes and dreams, a dream shattered, and I'm the one that got punished for it. But I wasn't upset over it. I was like, that sucks, but you'll see in time. And it happened twice, and I was like, I don't ever want to tell anyone the truth if I know it anymore, because people usually believe the lie and not the truth, and then the person who's telling the truth is the one who gets hurt. And I vowed after the second time to never share that stuff again, but then I changed it because I'm like, you know what? I don't care. If I'm speaking the truth and someone does not want to stay in my life because I'm warning them, because I'm telling them that someone's doing something bad to them, because I only say shit if I know. So if I literally walked up to someone, a friend of mine, family, whatever, and I said, listen, I have something to tell you, your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever is, stepping out on you. I would not say that unless I knew for a fact. If it's a spiritual message and you're asking for a reading and it comes out, that's out of my hands. That's not coming from me. It's coming from my guides and spirit. But regardless of readings, I know that I'm telling the truth. So if somebody chooses to walk away and end a friendship because they don't believe me, that's their karmic lesson, and they'll learn it the hard way. And actually, the second person I told, when I told her what happened, took years, but she apologized to me. She reached out to me on Messenger and apologized for not believing me, and I was totally fine. I said, it's okay, you don't have to apologize, because you don't want to believe something like that. You want to trust your partner over an outsider. It's almost like, what do you have to gain from telling me this? I had nothing to gain. I actually lost friends, but they weren't really my friends anyways if I lost them, but she's a good person. I still talk to her off and on, but she realized, and maybe it helps her decipher between the truth and fiction with other people. You know what I mean? That's what lessons are all about, and sometimes we're the conduit for that. It sucks, but it's not easy all the time, but it's true. Communication hurts someone. Yeah. So then we have the Star reversed and the Page of Cups reversed. Someone has not healed. hell? I don't even know what to say with this. Hold on. Yeah, an ending. Someone has not healed. Well, there could be a Scorpio involved because we have Death and the Tower. We also have Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That's pretty much what we have going on here, because even though we have the Page of Wands, I'm not really feeling much fire. So someone might not be a fire sign. They're just vibing in that energy like, I'm going to say something. This is catty behavior. Whatever this is someone who does not want to fix things. They have not worked on themselves. They have not healed from something. So there's a lot of issues going on with whoever that is. And this person might drag you down or try to drag someone down with them, like guilty by association. So just be careful with people like that, especially if you know that they're not on the up and up. I just heard we can't fix this. So there is someone that you don't want to work together with anymore for whatever reason. Maybe because of selfishness. Let's see. There's also a child who is not happy with their life, or they're not happy with their circumstances, or a parent or parents. Something like that. They don't feel loved. Yeah, there's a child who's not happy at home. They don't feel loved. It could be a masculine energy, a boy, or a female who's very strong-willed. Yeah, somebody does not feel secure. They don't. It's almost. I don't know if they don't feel safe in their home, because it doesn't really feel that. It feels like it's just not a secure home environment. So there's a child, no matter how old they are. This person would have an understanding, so I'm going to say over the age of 13 and up or something. This person would live at home still, and it's not a secure home. It's not a loving home. There's issues there. And this child's they're harboring a lot of pain, and they could be acting out as well. I just heard you're never home. So someone might be upset with a parent or both parents because someone's never home. Like, I just want to spend time with you kind of thing. And then I just heard it's too late. It's almost like when a child's begging for attention, whether they're doing something bad or not, because, attention is attention if you're not getting any, whether it's good or bad. And children act out a lot like that. But it's almost like crying for attention, reaching out for attention. I want you here. I want this. Like, no matter what they're doing, how they're getting their attention, and it falls on deaf ears. And then this child, gets a little older, and then they get to a point where it's like, and they don't care anymore. Like, whatever. I've done it on my own this long, or you didn't give me love and affection then, so why should I take it now? Like, someone could be dealing with that, or they're going to be, because there is a younger energy who's not happy with their home life. We'll just leave it at that. And they could have, the whole nature versus nurture debate and all that when it comes to cluster B personality disorders and stuff, because like psychopaths are born, sociopaths, which isn't a clinical term anymore, so antisocial personality disorder, though, like, disorders like that are created through your environment. That could be where that blankness is coming in for some. I just heard no. Okay, so no. What's up with the Page of Cups reversed in the Tower? Yeah, somebody feels without. It's almost like they've been living without love. Crossroads. Follow your intuition. Has something to do with choices, too. and free will reversed. It's like a level of control. Somebody trying to control the free will of someone. This feels like, if this is younger energy, it could be anyone, because adults can act this way too. It's like, you can't control me. I'm going to do whatever I want. You know, it's my decision. Because I heard it was too late to fix something. And it's not that this kid won't talk to their parent or parents or whatever. It's just the attention and the love that they were seeking from the family. Basically, they're not seeking it anymore. It's like, yeah, it turned into FU ultimately. And it's like, I'll do what I want, is what this feels like. You want to try to control me? You want to try to stop me from doing this, this, and this? Nope. Oh no. Phoebe from Friends. Oh no. This isn't good. Hopefully that kid goes in the right direction. But I kind of feel like when I started this and I was talking about, you know, the underage drinking and accidents and stuff, that's this energy. That's the same energy. Like, you can't tell me what to do. I tell me what to do. So someone could have been looking at advice, or when their parent is telling them, taking things away and telling them no, it's like, oh, you're trying to control me, when they're just trying to protect them. So there's a skewed viewpoint when it comes to that. I don't know, someone might think that their child or this person has no potential. Family. I don't know, someone has a toxic family. And even if they're not like abusive, like whap abusive or whatever, or like you piece of, you know, verbally abusive and stuff, they're just, I feel like it would be verbal. Even if they're not calling them names, it's just like, well, I guess it kind of would be. It's like, you're useless. You'll never amount to anything. You're fucking lazy. You're like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just all the time, or I'm screaming and yelling. It's always some type of upset. It's never praised. You're always belittled but never praised. So it's trying to seek attention and approval when you're not getting it at home, you know what I mean? And when you get older and you've gone however long without that level of approval, sometimes it can be the opposite. When someone is spoiled rotten and they get praised for even bad shit, you know what I mean? That can still be a problem too. But this feels like being belittled, and it's like, you try, like, say you're a kid and you're really excited because you got your first A+ on your paper, your project, whatever, and you worked really hard because you want your parents to, one of your parents, both of your parents, whatever, you want them to praise you. You want them to be like, good job, like, that's awesome. And your parent just goes, yep, whatever. They don't really care. And then you act out and they focus on the negative, and then they chew you a new a-hole for whatever. And it's like, I can never win with you. I suck when I'm great, and I suck when I suck. Like, that's kind of what this feels like. Someone dealt with that when they were a child, or that's going on for someone. Yeah, well, the truth about that's coming out. Someone might want to talk about their feelings. Somebody might be talking to their mother, or a mother figure, could even be a grandmother, aunt, whatever, about some stuff that's going on with them. Yeah, some secrets, some stuff they're keeping to themselves. Like, this is why I said this is why I did this is why blah, 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 whatever, because I can't hold on to this anymore, and I need a safe space. I started this saying that, I need a safe space to share my feelings, to say something. Someone needs a safe space. They need to know that you can be that for them, or someone. And if you're the person that needs somebody to talk to like that, you can always email me. It's hard for me to answer all the time, depending on what's going on. But feel free to vent away in my email. I have people that do that, and I try to respond. I don't always, and I'm sorry if I don't. It has nothing to do with each and every one of you personally. You know what I mean? It's just, it takes some time sometimes, and I got kids and family and this and everything else going on too. So I totally get not having time, just saying. But I just want to say, just know I'm here for you. I'm here for a lot of people, even if they don't think I am. Even if I get a little disappointed. And sometimes disappointment is a worse feeling than criticism and being yelled at. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if somebody's disappointed in you, it's because they care. They were trying to steer you in the right direction, and you veered off the path, and then it created a level of disappointment. So it's like, I'm not angry. I'm not upset with you. I'm disappointed. And then that person needs to prove themselves to themselves and to you. It's like, it's a fight for approval is what it feels like. But that was the one thing that always bothered me, was like, I don't care if someone gets mad. I don't want them to be mad. Like when I was younger, like my parents and stuff, but because I didn't want to get in trouble, I was afraid of that. But but anyways, it wasn't just that. It was disappointment. Like if I disappointed my mother or my father or whatever, that bothered me more. So that could be going on here too. Just saying. But just know that all those feelings and those moments can be overcome if changes are made, if proper changes are made. If you say goodbye to unhealthy people. The letter H is significant. My ear's ringing. Hug. H-U-G, hug. If you say goodbye to certain people. It's not easy. No, it's not. Something to do with north. Up north, north, I don't know. Compass your true north. Follow your intuition. My back. My back. Someone could have back issues, or someone got stabbed in the back. My back. Do you got my back? You got my 6? Hi. You got my back. Hi. Yeah, you got my back. 6. So I'm going to do with that. Someone wants you to know that they have your back, or vice versa. Are you in? Are you in or are you out? It's funny that I get all that from a Ouija board cup. This coffee's gonna taste like crap because it's cold. But anyways, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. I gotta get this day started. What is that? Is that like the wave? Why am I? Oh, we're making waves. Anyways, I love you guys. Peace.